Hi everyone, welcome back. My name's Shelley and this is the Willow Tree Queen, where I talk about all things sewing that I've been up to and basically just chat about random things. I'm going to start off this video by just saying I have got a bit of a cold coming on. I've got that burning sensation down the back of my nose. We had a lovely time on Friday, went up to London's West End and watched a musical called Hadestown, which I absolutely recommend. It was fantastic, loved it. But obviously we were in a very busy part of London and I seem to have picked up a bug. So if I sound a bit odd today, that will be why. And I am struggling to film this, I have to say. I have tried to record this starter about 6 times now, so I'm just hoping that I can keep it all together as I go through. So as the UK suddenly seems to have moved into summer, so we had our second winter for spring, and then the longest day, 21st of June, came around, and suddenly the heat turned on. I have been making summer dresses again, so yay. And of course I have fallen back on some old favourites. So the first dress is the one I'm wearing, which is the Bardon dress, which is a free pattern from Peppermint magazine. I have made so many versions of this, I can't tell you. I've even attached sleeves to a couple of them. I've made it in like voile, you know, the sort of thing that you would wear as an overdress. I've made it in cotton. I think I've even made a jersey version, but I'm trying to think. So I just love this dress. So one of the things that I thought would be interesting for you, and at the end of the video I will show a bit of video of me twirling around in both dresses, but one of the techniques that I thought would be interesting is the top is done in the burrito method. So it's completely, the seams around the armholes and the neck are completely encased. So you basically cut 2 pieces of the bodice and then turn them inside out. So I've linked below a video by Seamwork where they show you how to do the burrito method. I've used it so many times now. You use it on a yoke, for instance, when you're doing a shirt that's got a back yoke. Brilliant technique, but it's so good for doing armholes and neck holes and everything like that. This particular fabric is unusual. I'll put a close-up of the fabric for you here. It's kind of like a gauze, but it's not a double gauze. It's definitely a single gauze, so it is a little bit see-through that you can see there. But honestly, when I'm wearing it, you can't unless I'm stood with the sun behind me or a light behind me. And it's got this really interesting pattern on it, which I just loved, which I picked up in Camden Market. We went there in February. I'll put a couple of photos up I took there. I didn't unfortunately take a photo of the shop that I got this from, but it was a sort of Southeast Asian market stall inside Camden Market, which was selling all sorts of things. They were selling incense and statues, and they also had off to the side, it looked like they were wall hanging type things, but they were huge pieces of material. And I actually picked up a couple of things. So I picked up this, which I'm trying to think of, I reckon it was probably about 4 meters, and another one which was about the same that I made a circle skirt out of, for about £10. And this is a strange material. I'm not sure how long it will last because I think it is quite delicate. And you can see it's handmade. Not that most things aren't, but it was just unusual, and I really love it as this dress. So you'll see when I put the video up, it's got stripes pattern on it, and it just looks really pretty. The second dress that I've made recently that I wanted to talk about was a tutorial by Rosary apparel. She's a lovely Australian lady. I'm sure lots of people know who she is. I just find her very relaxing to watch and listen. And she, a long time ago, well, a couple of years ago I think now, did a video for a shirred dress that won't fall off your shoulders. And I've wanted to make her dress. I just love her dress. And I found this fabric in Simple Life Fabrics, and it's almost exactly what she's made her dress out of, and so I wanted to replicate it. Just found a loose thread. And when I saw this, I thought it was perfect. So I picked this up. It was probably good couple of months ago that I picked this up, but I chickened out making the dress for various reasons, because it is a no pattern dress. You basically make 4 rectangles based on your measurements. Like I say, I've linked her tutorial below so you can have a look, and it's lovely. But I will say this is it's like a embroidered double gauze. I don't know if you can see, but this is actually, there are holes through those flowers, so it's like a broderie on glaze double gauze fabric. I'll put a picture up of it up close. So it is a little bit bulky, and I watched the Yorkshire Showgirl, Ruan, doing a video recently about something that she had sewn with double gauze that had quite a wide selvage, and this had quite a wide selvage. So the blue border here was the selvage, and I decided to use that as the border because I thought it would be less bulky than the areas with the embroidery. Turns out it's not that much less bulky because it is double gauze, and there's elastic in the shoulder channels that helps to hold it up, and then this is shirred, and I did run out of shirring elastic. I had a black shirring elastic so you can't see it, and I did run out, so I managed to get the 2 panels done, but I think it needs a little bit extra, just because I was working my way from the bottom up, a little bit extra at the top here just to stop it frilling out, as you can probably see in the video that I'll put up in a little while. And then the sleeves also have a bit of shirring there, and again I could do with a couple of extra rows of shirring in that, which I will do when my elastic arrives later that I've ordered. And then I've just done a simple turnover hem with my funky overlocker thread. So yeah, so these are the couple of dresses that I've made. This was almost zero waste. I'll put a picture up of the scraps that I had left over. It was pretty good. So I only ordered 2 meters of this, which I regret now. Couldn't put pockets in, I didn't really have enough fabric, and plus I don't need that over my hips when it isn't that wide. So yeah, so it worked out almost perfectly. So that's that dress. What else was I going to talk about? I put some notes down here. Yep, actually that was it. So you can see these are my notes from making the Rosary apparel shirred dress, and I just made a note of this, the settings that I needed on my sewing machine as well, to make sure that the shirring worked, because every machine is different. Quite often it's putting your tension up to high and then putting the stitch length to sort of double what you normally have. Mine for my Burnett B77 was a stitch length of 4 and a tension of 9, and it created that. So yeah, so it worked out quite well. I did have to turn this fabric, so obviously the selvage is there on the top, so which means that technically it should run that way, and I'm sure if it had shirred it would have made the flowers be in a different place, but because I wanted to get as much length out of the fabric as possible and utilise the selvage, I cut the arms one end and then the dress the other, so it's running vertically rather than horizontally, but I quite like that and I think it looks nice. So I'll put some video of me twirling around, and I hope you enjoy that. So it's a bit of a short one from me because I'm feeling a bit off. I kind of wish we were still in the mask wearing scenario sometimes. I probably wouldn't feel this way, but it was a lovely night, and then we went up to London about I think we left here about 2:30. We had dinner reservation at 4, and then the theatre started at 7:30, and we had lots of time. It was a lovely day, very hot, but it was absolutely packed. Piccadilly in London was totally packed. I'll put a picture up, like I say, of the theatre that we could see. So we had dinner in Hard Rock Cafe in Piccadilly, and then we went to a little restaurant to have desserts. Again, it was a really nice day. It was my daughter's 20th birthday. Hard to imagine, my youngest daughter's 20th birthday, and Hadestown was her request. So, but yeah, it was lovely. But I am suffering now, obviously. Someone out there had a bit of a cold and has passed it on to me. So I'm just checking my notes, make sure I've said everything I was going to say, and I'll put a couple of videos of me twirling around, and thanks for watching, and please subscribe and like, and I will speak to you again soon, hopefully for a little bit longer. Bye.